everyone, it's Jessica, and this is another edition of Raleigh Rambles, where I process something that I'm thinking about out loud and share it with all of you. This morning, I am thinking a lot about being a connected educator and the power of a PLN, and I'm really grappling, as I often do, with whether it's our responsibility as connected educators to help other educators become connected. And if it is our responsibility, how do we do that in a way that honors who they are, but also pushes them to be connected? I think that this is something that I've struggled with and been thinking about a lot for the last year and a half or so now, and I still really, I don't know exactly where I land on all of it. I kind of waffle back and forth, and I have not been able to really solidify my thinking or push my thinking to a place where I feel okay staying in that place. Not that I don't ever want to grow my thinking, but I don't know where I stand with all of it, and that doesn't happen to me all that often. So it's a very unique place to be, where I waffle back and forth, especially because it's something I'm so insanely passionate about. I give PD facilitations on becoming a connected educator and the power of a PLN, and I talk about it constantly, and I live and breathe my connectedness, I suppose, and it's something that it's one of the most important things in my life. And so to be in a place where I ask myself, well, does every educator need to be connected, and why should they be connected? And I know teachers who are not connected, who are brilliant, amazing teachers who do the most phenomenal things with students, and I ask myself sometimes, are the kids in their classes losing out or missing something by their teacher not being connected? And in some cases, yes, they are. In other cases, I say, well, maybe not. I'm not really sure. I do believe that by being connected, it can make your job easier. It can help you be more efficient. It can absolutely benefit your students. And then I think about, for those brilliant teachers, how amazing would it be if they were sharing more of what they were doing so other people could learn from them? For every little glimpse that I get into how great they are as an educator, I want everyone else to have access to that too. And so I think that sharing and that openness is really, really important, so that we can all be learning from each other. I also think that there are some people who have just sort of made up their minds, and they've said, social media is not for me. I'm not interested in being on social media. I've made an intentional choice for myself, and it's not my thing. I'm not going to go there. And I guess that's the attitude that I struggle the most with, because I've encountered a lot of people that when I first started talking to them about social media, they say to me, no, I don't think so. But for one, they usually very quickly give me a response as to why that is, why they aren't interested in being connected, why they have chosen, not to be connected. And sometimes it's a matter of like, I just don't know where to start, or I don't have time for this. And so then I can take that and I can run with it. I know how to help someone who says, no, I don't have time for social media. It's way too overwhelming for me. I know where to go and how to help that person. And it's different for each individual, but overall I have sort of a strategy for that. I have a strategy for working with someone who says, social media is not benefiting me. I've tried it before and I never really get much out of it. I know my strategy for starting, I know my starting point, and then I can personalize it from there. And not that I can personalize it for them, but I can sort of cater to and be responsive to their needs, and then help them to kind of personalize that for themselves. But the person who says to me, I'm not, and generally, like in my mind, I'm picturing the person who has their arms crossed and they're sort of sitting back and they're looking at me like I'm a crazy person. And they're saying, I'm not interested in social media. I've made a choice not to be there, and it's my choice to make, and I'm just not interested. I don't have a strategy for that. And I guess that's what it is. Now that I blather all of this out, I guess that's what it is that I'm looking for, is what is my strategy or sort of mindset for working with an educator who says that to me. Because on the one hand, I feel like it's, as a connected educator, it's our responsibility to help others become connected. I owe that to myself, I owe that to my colleagues, and I owe that to my kids to help every teacher be able to be connected in whatever way works for them, and to find those resources, and to be in the long run connecting their kids and teaching their kids how to be connected, in a way that makes sense. But I also, I also feel like, well, can I make progress with that person? If they are truly that recalcitrant about it and they are not interested in the least, and they've made up their mind like that, should I be putting my time and energy into trying to convince them, or and I guess one thing that I've decided is that I need to listen more, and I need to ask different questions. When someone says to me, I'm not on social media and I don't want to be, I've made that choice, I'm done, I need to have a better set of questions that I can ask them, so that I can really listen and say, why have you made that choice? What is it that got you to that point? What are the things that you think are, detrimental to being on social media? All of those questions that might help me figure out, like, why have they gotten to this place where they're just not interested? But I also really wonder, like, if they don't want to talk to me about it and they're not giving me anything in return and nothing that I can sort of go off of to try to support them, if they don't want my support, like, should I be really even trying to push it on them? Because I don't believe in that. I don't believe in pushing my agenda or my thoughts or my way of doing something on someone else. If someone says, I don't want that, I want to push people out of their comfort zones, but I also want to respect and honor who people are and the choices that they've made. So I guess that's where I'm struggling right now is what do I do in that situation, and is it okay? Because sometimes I think, well, it's important to just invest in the people who want it, because I have met plenty of people who are not connected, but they at least are intrigued enough that they want to listen, they want to hear more about it, and then eventually they want help with that, and then they feel so excited once they're to that point. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I sort of would put that out to you, like, what does that make you think, and what is your strategy for working with teachers who are not connected educators, or not teachers, but just educators who are not connected? And what is your strategy, especially for working with those really recalcitrant educators who just aren't interested? Do you think it's our responsibility to help them too? Or is it our responsibility to offer what we have to offer, to put it out there, to tell them that we are there if they need us, and then to go and invest in the places where we are truly needed now? Because sometimes I wonder, if we really all just invested there, would it eventually just spread and take over, and those recalcitrant people wouldn't be there anymore? So if you have thoughts or ideas, I really would love to hear them and would appreciate it greatly. That's what I'm rambling about today, and I'll talk to you all soon.